Hello, my name is Justin, and today we are continuing my Yellowjackets rewatch. Today we are talking about Season 1, Episode 5. This episode is titled Blood Hive, and we, of course, are talking about the adult timeline. So, the episode starts with Shauna, who is texting Adam, which made her burn toast that I guess she was making for Callie, who walks in telling her about said toast and also telling her to ignore any Uber charges from her bank account because Callie is going to the city with her friend for a party. Shauna asked if she meant to phrase that as a question, with Callie telling her no, and with Shauna telling her that she can't do that. Shauna has book club, so Callie needs to stay to hand out candy. Callie insults her as Jeff walks in. Jeff tells Shauna to be nicer to Callie, who leaves for school, with Shauna saying her own child is an asshole and that actions should have consequences. And you know what? Is this not why we love Shauna? She might be a narcissist, but Jeff asks Shauna if she has to go to her book club, with Shauna saying yes. He then asks if he can go with her, and she tells him he wouldn't like it. So, as we all come to learn, she tells him to go do something while she does stuff behind his back. This time, it is Halloween, so she makes Jeff hand out candy alone so she can go do whatever she wants to do, which is meet up with Adam. Natalie is laying in bed in the hotel room when Kevin calls. He tells her that Travis was clean when he died, and she tells him thanks and that she owes him one. He asks if she would want to hang out again sometime, and she quickly hangs up, telling him that someone is on the other line, which was not true. She just needed to call Misty. Under the contact, don't pick up. Misty at work answers the call annoyed, asking who is calling. Natalie asks about the guy who can break into people's emails and seeing if Misty can get in contact with him to break into Kevin's email. Misty replies, upset, saying that she hasn't gotten an apology. So when Natalie is changing her shirt and not answering Misty, Misty takes that as Natalie slipping away. So Misty quickly covers up, asking whose email they'll be breaking into. Natalie tells her Kevin for Travis's reports, as Natalie believes that Kevin didn't commit suicide. Misty tells Natalie that she'll get in contact with that guy to break into Kevin's email. Then she scares little kids who are coming into the room for trick-or-treating. She turns off the... what is it called? She turns off the system that is tracking the old lady's heart rate and stuff, so it flatlines, which scares the kids, and Misty laughs, and she loves giving people a hard time. Thaisa is talking politics. I don't really know what she's talking about, but she did say she should have kissed that white woman's ass. I'm guessing because she's retaliating, or maybe Thaisa's scared that she would say something because Thaisa kind of bitched her out for trying to walk her like a dog. I don't know. Thaisa's dog starts barking, and it sends Ty into a PTSD panic, believing that there is a wolf outside. She takes a knife out, only to see the word spill painted on her house. Later that night, returning home from trick-or-treating, Thaisa gets a letter from her opposer saying that she is hiding the truth. Her wife tells her maybe it is time to expose her opposer's junkie daughter if he is going to come to their house and, paint graffiti on it. Thaisa tells her that the word spill on the house, it will be painted over tomorrow, then goes upstairs to help Sammy get to bed, where she finds a can of red paint under his bed. Shauna is taken to a rave with Adam where they were going to wear masks but decide not to. Natalie tells Misty they didn't need a code as she opens the door to her motel room. Misty tells her that she has bad and good news, handing her a present, which is an aroma diffuser. We later find out has a hidden camera inside. The bad news is that her insider didn't know that they were hacking a police officer and now wants to meet in public to talk about it. Natalie says they'll talk all right. Thaisa and her wife confront their son about painting the word spill on the house, and he says he didn't and that it was the bad one, the woman in the tree. Thaisa pushes him and he pushes everything off the table, running away, saying that it wasn't him. Back with Natalie, she is getting gas out of her car. I think she put a tube in her tank of gas and then was sucking it up and spitting it out. So she had gas in her mouth. I don't know about that. I mean, she got what she wanted, but I don't know about that. So her and Misty go inside the place to talk to the guy about Travis's files. He tells them that he wants in because the person that they're trying to look up and get information on doesn't exist. Natalie tells him, of course, he doesn't exist. He's dead. And it's none of his business. And the guy was like, well, what is it worth to you? So Natalie nods to Misty, who pours the gasoline on his pants. And Natalie tells him that, I don't know, I mean, is me lighting your dick on fire and going to prison worth it? I think so. And so he hands it over, calling them crazy. Back at the party with Shauna and Adam, they are dancing when Shauna sees Jackie in her soccer uniform. Shauna, without a word, leaves Adam, who is calling out for her. While she follows Jackie, she calls out, reaching for her, only for it to be Callie once we're turned around. They ask each other what the other is doing there. Shauna starts going off, asking her where she got the uniform. Adam appears, asking Shauna why she left, with Callie putting the pieces together that her mom is cheating on her dad. Shauna finds out Callie is on Molly and tells her she is taking her home. Adam asks if they need a ride, and Shauna tells him thanks, but no, going outside to get some food and something to drink to help Callie sober up. Thaisa and her wife talk about being worried about Sammy, and how Thaisa is just now getting worried when it's clear something has been wrong for a while. Thaisa apologizes, saying she knows she's been distracted, with her wife saying it's more than that, and that she's losing weight, not sleeping, and asks if she wants to truly know what's wrong with their son. He's missing his mom, as he can tell that she's distant. Thaisa asks if she thinks she should drop out of the campaign. Her wife tells her she would never ask her to do that, but she wants to make sure that Thaisa is also spending time with her family and not getting consumed by her work. Thaisa acknowledges this and says she will make a statement tomorrow morning that she's going to drop out. Natalie thinks of her and Travis's first kiss in the wilderness and laying next to him as an adult. She's looking through his autopsy pictures with Misty when Misty notices wax marks around the crime scene. She grabs a marker and connects them all, making the symbol from the wilderness. Natalie says this is bad, as Travis never believed in any of that shit. Which, for the most part, is true, but he did, all of them, to some extent, did believe in it. Besides Natalie. I think that was the whole point of Natalie's death, was that she finally came to terms with the wilderness. It just so happened to be that when that happened, it was during the time of her death. But I think Travis did believe in it in season 2, where I think a lot of them did. And then maybe a little bit during season 3 before he shifted the blame, not the blame, but shifted Lottie going from him to get in contact with the wilderness to Akila. Yeah. Misty asks Natalie why things pointing to the wilderness were at the crime scene if Travis didn't believe in any of it, with Natalie saying she doesn't know, but she knows he didn't put it there. Callie asks if Adam is Shauna's lover, then taunts her, saying he is hot, but that it is probably due to her Yellowjackets background. Shauna tells her that he knows nothing about that, with Callie asking if she is sure about that. They live in the day and age of the internet. He could have looked her up. Callie asks if Shauna fell out of love with Jeff, with Shauna saying it is way more complicated than that, and that there's a lot of baggage between her and him. Callie mentions Jackie, with Shauna saying that the uniform she is wearing was Jackie's. Shauna tells her that Jackie's parents gave it to her for her 40th birthday to remember her, like she hadn't spent the better half of her life doing just that. Callie starts to cry, saying she's sorry that she had to go through all that. Shauna says she's fine and that bad things happen. Callie tells her that Shauna isn't fine and that Callie can see that, which is so heartbreaking that, like, Callie was kind of a whiny little thing in these earlier seasons, but it's always been clear that she's been begging for her mom to, like, give her any type of emotional gratification, and Shauna just blocks off all her emotions to the point that she doesn't even show Callie that she cares, and it's just horrible that now, and then even at the end of season 3, Callie is still begging for the same thing, which is just that her mom would just be open with her. The next day, at Theis's announcement where she is going to drop out, she quickly decides to shift and blame her opposer for the writing on the house, in doubling down after seeing the man with no eyes. It is also the next morning where Shauna asks if Callie is doing well as she comes out to the kitchen holding her head, saying that she clearly feels like shit, but she tells Shauna how things are going to play out if Shauna wants to keep her little love interest a secret. Shauna asks if Callie has ever heard of mutual destruction, telling her that life would be a lot worse if her dad was single dating girls around Callie's age. To test her, Shauna has Jeff come in so Callie can tell him all about it. Callie caves, saying she went into the city last night, got too high, and needed Shauna to pick her up, and that she was sorry about it. Jeff starts to tell her that that wasn't okay, with Callie just getting up to leave, with Jeff saying, yeah, Shauna, you're right. She has a real attitude. Shauna has a little quirky smirk, and then she checks the internet to see that it is no secret that she's a yellow jacket. You look up Shauna Shipman on the internet, and it says, yep, Shauna Shipman, yellow jacket, cannibal. And she just can't pretend that Adam would just be interested in. And it's not saying that Adam would just be interested in her because she's a yellow jacket, but she can't say that he doesn't know anything about it, because that's not true. I always wondered, like, did she believe that Melissa was alive? Because, like, we'll get into it when we start watching season 3, but I always figured that Shauna never believed or started to believe that Melissa was alive, or maybe, I don't know. They tried to make it seem like that, but I think she was just blaming Misty. So I don't really think she thought Melissa was alive, and that's why she was surprised when she saw Melissa in Hannah's daughter's house. But I almost wonder if Shauna feels like no one can love her unless they know about her being a yellow jacket. Like, unless they know the worst of her, no one can love her. But even then, it's like, it's not enough for her, because Jeff comes to the conclusion that he knows all this about her, and he's still there for her, and he still loves her, and Shauna still wants more. So who fucking knows how that's gonna work out for her. At the end of the episode, Natalie has Thaisa come over so she can show her the drawing of the symbol on Travis's crime scene pictures of Travis's suicide. While looking at it, they get a text saying that they need to get $50,000 in cash and await further instructions, and to not tell any other teammate, as the person sending the text will know, and it was sent with a text of the symbol as well. Thaisa says she's going to call Shauna, with Natalie saying, good idea. I don't think she really thinks it's a good idea, but I think she's just going along with Thaisa because it's either Thaisa or crazy ass Misty. Misty is watching all this through the camera on the diffuser. She watches as Thaisa calls Shauna to tell her to get there as Travis is dead. Thaisa tells Natalie that Shauna already knows, with Natalie asking how, and Thaisa saying that Misty told Shauna. Natalie calls Misty a conniving poodle-haired freak and tells Shauna to hurry up and get there now, as they've got a big problem. And that is the end of this episode. I love this episode. I miss Misty. I do miss Misty. I'm excited for season 4, but I miss Natalie so much. I really wonder what season 3 would have looked like if she was still alive. So good. So good. The teen or the adult timeline in season 1 was peak. So good. That's really all I have to say about it. I think this is a good middle piece episode. We're in the middle of the season. Literally, it's episode 5. We have 5 more to go. But yeah, let me know what you thought of this specific episode for the adult timeline. And I will catch you for episode 6 if you decide to check in. All right, I hope you have a great one. Goodbye.